And Israel's military has increased the number of people it says that have been taken hostage by Hamas. The number now stands at 212. So the pressure is growing for something to be done and quickly. Susan Ormiston is part of the CBC News team on the ground in Israel. She's in Jerusalem, where friends and families have gathered to demand action.
We are in front of the Israeli president's residence with a group of, maybe 100, 200 people, many of whom know people who are abducted inside Gaza by Hamas militants. And I wanted to talk to Shira. Hi, Shira. What are you doing here tonight?
Well, we're demonstrating. We want to make sure that everybody remembers our hostages, the people kidnapped and that are in Gaza right now.
And what do you want the Israeli government to do about it?
I am not in the business of revenge, but I want to be 100% sure, 1,000% sure that my government is doing everything it can to get these people back home, to get this boy, a friend of mine, a member of my synagogue, who is severely wounded, and a civilian who was at a music festival, to get him back home. I need to believe that my government is doing everything to get him back home.
Are you worried that a ground incursion into Gaza may jeopardize the safety of those hostages?
Yes, I am extremely worried about that. I'm extremely worried about that. I want to see us looking at the humanitarian side of our needs and our people who are in there, children and elderly. And first of all, to be sure that they're safe and they're back home. And children shouldn't be hurt anywhere. I am extremely, extremely concerned about that.
And just one last thing, when you saw 2 American women released on Friday, what was your feeling at that moment?
I did not see 2 American women released on Friday because I was at synagogue. I don't follow. I heard about it later. I am hopeful that the Hamas find a way to reconnect to anything human, which they have not been over the past 2 weeks, and to free up everybody who should not be there, and to get into negotiations not on top of people's lives, not in such a cruel and inhumane way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there are families inside the president's residence speaking to the president, trying to encourage him to pause or at least hold back on any kind of military incursion in Gaza. We've been hearing that all day, that pressure is mounting to try to make space for any possible negotiations to take place to get those over 200 hostages out, and also to move people, Gazans stuck in Gaza with foreign passports, out of the area. So it is a very somber crowd, but a hopeful crowd too, that they can influence what's happening about the hostages, Natasha.
And Susan, what's the latest in terms of the war itself?
Well, we heard from the Israeli military this morning basically saying that they will move into Gaza when the conditions are right. They refuse to put any timing on this for strategic reasons. Also, we know that there is pressure building not only here with the families, but also reportedly from countries like the U.S. and perhaps others who are trying to negotiate a way to keep those hostages safe until there can be more releases possibly. We also know that the Prime Minister of Israel was up at the northern border today talking to troops. They are building up troops there, concerned that this fight could open up a second front with Hezbollah. They ordered that more than a dozen additional communities evacuate the area in the northern area near the border with Lebanon. So they are preparing space, as they said, to be able to maneuver militarily up there. And as you saw, we're all watching that Rafah border to see whether there will be a consistent supply of aid going into Gaza. It has been sporadic. There have been problems with it. But now for a second day in a row, it seems that there has been aid going in. Aid workers say it's not near enough. I mean, they need more than 100 truckloads a day, and we're seeing 12, 17, 20, and there's no, concrete agreement that supply of aid will be consistent. So all those pressure points are happening here in the region today.